Welcome back, everyone, to Roll for Initiative, brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, Cobalt Press, who have enabled us to play Tales of the Valiant while supporting an amazing cause, and that cause is what? Doctors Without Borders. Please follow the link below. Please give them support. And Forrest Valkai, what are some other cool ways that our viewers could support Doctors Without Borders?
The best thing you can do is donate. But I understand that not everybody has the ability to do that. So if you can't give monetarily, please hit that share button so you can send these videos to somebody who can donate monetarily. Help us reach more nerds who want to help more doctors. That's what we'd be best at. And if you can do both, do both. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for watching. The episode's going to start in the middle of the episode now for the reason that we talked about at the end of the last episode. It's starting now. Bye! Demira was very clear that she could hear the voice of someone that she called Mother. She assumed it was the mother that she's talking about, but it wasn't. It was that.
Before you go on this path that you have decided to go on, listen to me. And I raise my hand, and you see it in front of you start decaying.
What? What? What?
The doors you find are already open to exit the estate. And there are some of these same kind of covert ops looking dwarves just kind of looking at you kind of expectantly. Understated, but there.
We're ready to go. I don't know if we need to be like smuggled out or if we can just head out.
One of them just kind of peeks, and you hear her voice that, "We're not going to make a big thing about it. We're here to kill you if you step out of line. But otherwise, we'll just be really hard to spot as you leave the city peacefully."
Okay.
Thank
that's
you.
good with me.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, no
all
problems.
right. I'm not going to touch
Not gonna be too
anything.
much trouble.
Just want to see sunshine again.
want to
Thank
leave
you
as much as
so
you want us to.
much.
We would love for you to see sunshine again, too.
Okay,
We're
good.
all in the same team. Look at us.
Look at us.
May you
Okay.
have a terrible day. Good night.
Okay, then perhaps we just set out.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
much to narrate,
get
I
outta here.
suppose.
As you exit the immense hanging city of Marlstone, it's strange how your escort seems to blend into the crowd inconspicuously, especially considering their very conspicuous garb. This is well practiced. And you leave behind the din and joy and music and carefree life of a people unburdened by the troubles you seek to rectify. You ascend the winding ramp that leads back up to a small hill just south of InitiaGive. What are you guys doing?
As soon as we get onto solid ground, onto dirt ground, you see Azad immediately remove his shoes, and I almost said feet again.
I mean, you probably
Feet
could,
have
right?
to stay attached.
That's not
I
how
mean,
it
it seems like
works.
it would be a simple thing for you to do.
And you see him step in the dirt and immediately go, as the skin comes back on him, his features return, and he looks like you have always seen him. His mustache actually curls back up on its own and perks up. He just takes whatever the turban that he's been wrapping around him, he ties it back up.
With his crossbow inside.
With his crossbow inside. It's a tiny little thing. It's right there. It's like a pew.
Collapsible.
It's a collapsible.
How was that one more time?
Pew.
Okay, thank you. From the people that brought you Bing Bong Ray.
Bring you pew pew gun. I don't know. Pew
crossbows.
pew dart. Yeah.
He goes, oh, thank the mother. Oh, that feels good. Okay, couple options. I think we need to fix that instrument. And if there's anyone you know that could help us.
Oh, I know the person who made it.
Yeah, it's Ardith. That's where we're
Oh.
going.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. That was weird, right?
That
was weird.
Unnerved.
That was
yes.
really-
It's
that
too
was really
early
weird.
to be regenerating your entire self.
Don't do it again.
Please.
Which way?
Oh.
No. You're so
Unsettling.
much less beautiful on the inside.
Gwen just cackles. Just this very real cackle. She's like, do it again.
Hey, I'm a fan. Well, she should still be in her blacksmith soon.
Yeah, we should just head that way.
To the smithy.
The smithy. And as you arrive, Ardith is a little bit less jocular in her approach. Her demeanor is a little bit more solemn. You see the people of InitiaGive looking far more hale and hearty than when you arrived.
And at this point, Azad has nothing to hide, and he'll say, "Welcome to the fold."
And occasionally people just run up and give him a big hug.
I don't know how I feel about
Don't
this.
like it.
I
I
don't think
do
I like
Yeah, I'm
not
really
like
struggling. It's
it.
really-
Just whoa.
They seem fine, but they're spore people now.
I don't like it.
Let's just talk to Ardith and go from there.
Sure. Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, for sure,
Muttering.
yeah.
Yep.
As you walk in, she's like, "Welcome back. What you got there?
Oh,
You'll never guess.
Is it the thing I sent you out for?
And
Top marks. I knew you had it in you. Good job."
We helped.
yeah, so what exactly, how does it work?
So this was like a side project, a pleasant, arguably pleasant side effect of Project Giant Step as
Looks it's arguably pleasant, and I've kept like the case and things, and it's just all the swear words written on the outside.
arguably is it. Arguing is a thing that dwarves excel at.
Yeah, I know.
It's right. We should practice. I feel like you're far too agreeable. It's not up to me, but all right.
You're far too agreeable.
We'll work on it.
I'm trying.
All right. So, when the fibers first started coming through, we didn't really understand the danger. So we started to tinker in. But it was promising at first. And we realized like the fibers were more conductive with certain impulses than anything we'd ever found before. And they were self-repairing. You could cut one and grow right back. Well, that's wondrous for machinery, and transmission of information and data is faster than a sending spell and twice as cheap. But then we realized that there was something else going on, especially when we were trying to just connect them directly to like us and like some of the earlier subjects. Well, I bet you probably saw some of the results of connecting organic people. My best mate volunteered. I was going to do it, but we were both so excited. and I built it, and so we connected it, and we realized he was fine, by the way, but what he experienced when we connected him to the network was that the network connects to you, and it's really hard to tell where you start and the network stops after a while. So we shit canned that one. It was scary. He's never quite forgave me, and I don't really blame him.
Was this the human?
No, that was far later. The Underduke at the time was really excited about the project, but I deemed it far too dangerous. My assistant agreed, clearly, and so when we decided to destroy the samples, the Underduke assigned Carl to it. But regardless, this acts like a hub. You can connect just about anything directly to a mycelial network. But I scrapped it because you're going to lose part of yourself every time you connect. But I think if you're going to beat this, it's already bigger than anything you know how to fight. And I don't know if you can tell, but that prick mayor of ours is really pitching in.
Yes, I usually would encourage that sort of change of heart, but I feel that it was more of a change of parts.
Aye.
Nice.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe connecting to the network allowed him to see that everybody owes somebody something. I don't know.
Artist,
Aye.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you not know what happens? Azad,
Well, I mean, what? What did you do?
What did I do?
can you show her?
Very well.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, a little.
It's weird how much it doesn't.
And it just goes back.
That's fascinating.
That's all you have to say?
That's a word for it.
Now the potential medical applications of such a thing are vast.
Haven't you been down that road of thinking before?
That's kind of why I'm here now. I did get kicked out of Marlston. But I was kicked out because once I realized the dangers associated. But I mean, that doesn't mean that my research was conclusive. It just meant that I knew that I wasn't capable of manipulating the materials.
If I could
Safely.
mention something.
Hey,
You experimented on something that is beyond any mortal comprehension. Would you, for a second, imagine if your god came to Earth, onto this land, got captured, got pulled apart and experimented on, and found medical applications for? Perhaps it helps. It could. Maybe a bit of the crow, of the three sisters. But you're messing with a being that is beyond any comprehension, and doing experiments with it and trying to use your own limited comprehension of what it is. What did you think was going to happen?
well, we didn't know, but I agree. I agree.
And once again, we're talking about further medical applications, as if though it's another method, another chance at an experimentation, rather than just understanding and accepting that it is one aspect of this world that we live in.
My only concern now is whether the people who are transforming are doing so of their own will, or is it being done to them?
Well, everything I've been able to garner indicates that it's not voluntary. Which, I mean, you seem to know better than anyone.
We saw things
Aye.
down there. Is it your scientific opinion that what we saw down there is connected to or disconnected from what we experienced when we visited the circle?
Well, I don't rightly know, but there is a good way to find out. That device right there, get you right connected.
What I can offer is this. Until you can experience what I experienced, my words are not going to suffice.
I'll do it. I'll stick my hand in the machine.
Well, there's a caveat.
All right.
Of course there is.
Like I said, I don't really have a good way of making sure that you don't take a little bit back with you every time. And I'm not a magician. Is he a magician?
What happened? She had
He dresses like a magician sometimes.
He looks less magician.
Come on, now
than
it's
he
better
did.
than a vampire.
Sometimes. Well,
It smells a lot less now, so
he smells lovely. But if you knew somebody that could control the flow of these things, magically or biologically, that would prevent the passengers from getting lost in the network.
perhaps a guide.
Some sort of armor.
Alindra?
Am I invisible to these people?
Well, I got to tell you, Azad, this is going to sound rude.
Of course.
I do not trust you anymore. I'm sorry. You've done nothing but kindnesses around here, but one can't help wonder if your judgment's been compromised. I'm sorry. I owe you a tankard.
I will take you up on it when you're ready.
Azad, you mentioned that you wanted to take us somewhere and show us something.
I would like to guide you to what I see or what I feel, what those outside feel, with the hopes of not having to force you into anything you do not want to. And with that, hopefully give some level of understanding and perspective. And from there, whatever decision you decide to make is your own.
I cannot figure out how to ask this question. Ardith, I think one of the main issues that is currently split in the party is that down there, what we saw was horrible. It was the destruction and the despair and the pain and it just wasn't right. And I know you probably saw some of that as well when you were down there. But
Just the very beginning, I got kicked out when I told them that they had to destroy the samples.
It was a seething abomination, and we barely escaped with our lives.
Seething Abomination is a great name for a band. Also,
Write that down.
but that's sort of, I think, the thing that Azad and I think me too are hung up on is that down there it was an abomination. It was horrible. It was horrific. But here, people seem to be all right, but they're not opting in. Is the problem? It's not their choice. It's happening to them, not with them. You know. So, do you think that it's two separate strains? One is maybe a bit worse than the other. Do you think it's one strain and people are sort of wandering into it accidentally? Do you see what I'm trying to ask?
I do. Well, I mean, I can tell you myself that we cultivated several strains, and when Carl took over, I'm sure it was a great deal more. So I'm sure that the individual strains have different properties.
Right.
I don't know if they're interconnected or not. Hopefully they're not. We tried to keep the specimens separate. Harder to study things with cross-contamination, of course, but clearly cross-contamination down there is no longer an issue. So,
Ardith,
aye,
what did the church know of your work?
the church, no, it's nothing. I mean, they didn't like Giant Step, right? Because like they like to be the only way to do anything. But Giant Step was a great project, lots of promise. You take a step from Brom's Crucible and you end up in Marlstone, thousands of miles away.
But they certainly seem to know about it now.
Aye. I mean, they're divinists, you know. They've got...
They fear what they don't know, and the first reaction they had is burn it.
I don't blame them.
Can I roll a check? So we're trying to. So, sorry. My understanding here is that we need to use this machine, but whoever uses the machine might get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
The mushroom sauce, delicious.
I'm like probably like 30% robo-nanite things.
Yeah.
Do I think that would make me good at it? More
Give
less.
me a. Let's go with nature. Nature.
No
check.
offense, you would be my choice to run the experiment on.
Yeah. Nature.
Because I'm fully made of meat.
Yeah. I'm made of science. Yeah. I'm made of engineering. I'm made of quality engineering.
I'm made of fire a little bit.
V8 engine.
Built Ford tough.
24.
24. You understand what she's talking about. Like, the science is already there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the id that you might lose. It's what makes you you. And it's what separates the people outside from the people that they used to be.
Gotcha.
You're going to need something more esoteric. You're going to need something that can deal directly with, for lack of better words, the spiritual.
You're saying that if we're going to use this machine, we need some sort of conduit?
This will be a good conduit, but you're going to need somebody to help you find your way back.
So we need a cleric, and the only cleric that we have is made of mushrooms.
I'd not recommend a cleric. I'd recommend more like a nature witch or something.
We need a trip sitter.
What about Alindra?
Alindra is also made of mushrooms.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
She was the only one who wasn't. That's right.
She wasn't the only one. There was a lot of them who weren't actually. It was a source of contention within the community whether or not they should go pro or anti.
BB?
Oh my god.
No, we should not ask BB. I think we ask Alindra. She's a druid, and yeah, that's a good point.
That's great.
She seems to be.
We need a woo-woo-woo.
Yeah.
Well, get your best woo-woo-woo. Be careful. Izad, you're a sweetie heart, I think. You might be a mushroom monster, but you're the nicest mushroom monster I've ever met.
Thank you for the compliment.
It's... People should have the choice. And it's upsetting to me that it seems to fundamentally change who they are, even if they used to be a real piece of shit.
I've never seen anything as frightening as the mayor painting walls.
It's upsetting.
Awful.
It's upsetting. He gave a hungry kid a sandwich.
No!
All I can say is people change regardless of what it is. And if you're given new information, new perspective, hundreds of thousands, millions, that naturally changes who you are regardless of what the cause of it is.
And that's beautiful, and I like the idea of it.
Once again, words will not be able to convince you, I can tell.
We could just go ask the
Let's
mayor.
just-
You know, we could just be like, "Hey, have you recently, come to one with the universe and everything, or are you mushrooms?" We could do that.
I mean,
Would you know?
whether that he says yes or no, I think the goal is, even if, this is the best thing ever, people should be able to opt into it. So I think we figure out how to stop uncontrolled spread so people can make informed decisions about, and looking at Ardith, about what happens to their physical form.
Physical forms, that's a great Great notion.
Then we can go back and ask the mayor if he likes being a decent person or wants to go back to being a piece of shit.
I love it.
Well, if we wish to have the druid here, I can send her a message. Or at least we can.
Don't say we.
Don't say that.
Don't
Don't say it. I don't like it.
Just say you.
I wish
just
you
say
wouldn't.
you.
Can you just
You really
pretend
need to work on the sales pitch
We can
here.
all just
You're
pretend like this
not
isn't this way.
encouraging anyone to join
not
your
asking.
mushroom cult.
That is
We
not
could
it.
also just go there. I'm just saying, like, we know where it is and we're welcome.
Yes, let's all use our normal bodies and just head that way.
Love that.
Soon as you say that, I once again do the thing in front of you. Yes, total normal.
You're
bodies, let's
literally
go.
the only human here.
Aretha,
In fact,
Yeah.
you're the abomination.
Right.
can this Alindra do it?
Can't she guide someone back?
Aye.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough. Let's go. I gotta go. You don't know how
Okay,
to work
we're
the
good.
machine.
Yeah, we're all going
Wait,
together.
All right. Do we want to cutscene it?
That's Star
Like,
Wars wipe
does
it.
we just
We'll Star Wars
I
wipe
can't
it.
imagine what else we would be doing in the woods.
Moments
Let's
later.
have more individual monologues of exposition. I think
That
that's
sounds
what
like a
this
lot of
episode
fun.
really
Sounds like a lot of
needs.
fun.
Good.
Moments later, we wipe too. The party emerging into the grove. The children of the root. And you are welcomed by a familiar sound. It didn't last very long, did it?
No, it should have only lasted a few hours. I'm sorry.
False promises, how do you?
I never said it would do anything. I can give you more right now.
No.
Would you be so kind?
I'd be
Because
happy
honestly,
to.
like they came back with a vengeance. Oh, thank you very much. These taste terrible. To help everyone.
If you ever go into town, I can give you a list of the things. I don't know where to get them out here.
No, they're jealous of my mole. Okay. And then a few moments later, Alindra kind of appears behind Bibi and pats her on the head. Welcome back, everybody. You brought a guest. And she kind of eyes Ardith, like, suspiciously.
Show her the flower.
So
This is Ardith. She's the blacksmith in town, and she's graciously come with us because, well, we have a bit of a favor to ask you, Alindra. But we need Ardith here with us to, I guess, facilitate might be the right word.
I think it would be best if Ardith explains to Alindra everything.
Oh, I love that. So Ardith looks over at Alindra. She's like, all right, so you do the boo magic, right? This here device will allow people to talk to the grandpapa nature mushroom.
It's a mother.
The mama and the papas.
I communicated with the machine. I found that all the leaves are brown and the skies are gray.
And the skies are gray?
Yeah.
And they're gray.
And so
the stars are shining bright above you.
Yes.
the problem with the machine is, I know machines are so bad and everybody hates nails and shoes, is that when we connect people to what's happening down there, they leave a little bit of themselves and they bring back a little something else. And I just think that should be something people choose. And Alindra's just kind of sitting there, like Alindra's very tall, and she kind of like hunkers over and kind of she's squinting at Ardith, and she's like, "Your diction, the way you talk about nature, is just god awful. But I do agree, it should be a choice."
I absolutely
Yeah,
should
should
bet. Yeah. Now kiss.
They're approximately they're age appropriate. It's fine.
Yeah,
But
I can tell.
They both just kind of look over at you, like, what do you think?
What do I think about?
She, as the archdruidess looks over at you for the approval of Ardith. Like, is this really a?
It's our best option. I can't say that it's safe or that it will work, but it is the only path forward.
So be it. Well, we've got our path. Set it up, dwarf. And you see Ardith look up at her. And she's like, got it, stretch.
Hey.
Gives her a little wink. And she's like, all right, well, who all's going?
I'll be
Who
there.
all's going?
Who all is going? Are you going to just leave one behind? You're going to... There may not be anybody coming back, so if I understand if you don't want to.
Ardith, how does this work? I thought we were just going to sort of like, mind meld with Mother Mushroom. But are we going somewhere?
Oh, you're going somewhere.
I need to connect to the source.
Can you describe where? Have you been?
Oh,
Doesn't
no.
matter. I'm going.
You're in? All right.
Yeah, I'll go, I guess.
You're in.
You'll need a doctor.
You're in.
You already know I'll be going.
Do you need the machine even?
Not really.
All right.
I don't want to watch you melt into the ground to be the thing that we're going to go see. Just go in the machine.
You don't know me.
You don't know how weird you are.
Kirke, you don't
Kirke.
have to. I mean, like you mentioned, we don't know each other that well, and you
No.
have your duty to.
No.
She said duty.
In for a penny, in for a pound. What's a penny?
It's like gold, but for
But copper.
less.
More conductive, isn't it?
What I used to live off of as a kid.
Yes.
Used to live
The
off-
copper
oh.
dragon people, they do that.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Well, all right, Stretch, not you, other Stretch. Fairy ring anywhere nearby. And Alindra leads her over, not too far off-site. It's a little ring on the ground.
I told you about the fairy rings.
Well, we're going to disregard everything that you've said.
You have this whole time.
She places the device in the center, dead center. She's like, you might want to lay down. This is going to be unpleasant the first time. Might be the last time. Hope it's not. You seem like lovely people. You'll be back. Alindra, they'll be back. And she's like, of course, well, I'll try. What? And they go off and kind of have a sidebar about what needs to occur here.
Yeah. Also, when Ardith says you'll be back, I say, well, I mean, if I don't, you're the one who has to deal with my mom. So.
Never mind that. All right, cool. You've got to come back. She's got to come back. And Alindra kind of gathers a selection of her kin. They begin to chant and press their hands into the soil and kind of rock back and forth rhythmically, and their eyes kind of roll up in their head, and it's unsettling. Ardith says, lay down. You want to lay down?
In the circle?
No, maybe just like with your heads pointing to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll lay down.
Azad just goes
gonna-
into
We'll
his
lie
usual
down. Very
position.
well. Ember is not. She's been directed to stay.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll and you hear Alindra, we'll keep an eye on your dog.
Thank you.
I promise.
How in character are you? Did you just make a note of what copper is just a second ago? Did I see that?
Yes, I'm keeping track of the Draconic Pantheon as I go.
Okay, I thought you just noted what copper was, and I'm like, you know that, though,
I
right?
know
Like,
what it is. Yes.
Gwen will lay down and then think for a second and then sit back up. Is our stuff coming with us? Like, what is there, how does that work?
If you think it does, it will.
All right.
That makes sense.
She's gonna go over. She's gonna like unpack, or she's gonna take like her chair like off, like the backpack straps off. She's gonna put it over like in the clearing. She's gonna look at BB and be like, "No joy rides."
Maybe one.
Just be hugging my med bag, staring up into the sky, just worried.
All right. It's going to be unpleasant for a moment. You'll be all right. We'll get you back. And she connects several electrodes to mushrooms in the fairy ring. Oh, weird. And then she opens up the top of the canister, and inside is coiled several more electrodes, but they seem to have prongs on the end. It's like, this is going to be mildly unpleasant. Localized bleeding is to be expected.
What?
Don't worry, you'll be fine. I've seen it happen twice. With 2 times? That's 100%
Just do
success
it.
rate. All right. And she cradles your head gently and kind of smiles at you. You'll be fine. You feel a slap on the back of your head as the world goes black. You all experience this. Physically, you're not sure what happened. But you do hear a wet slurping sound.
Mushroom matrix.
I get.
And the next thing you see is a cavern. Pulsing and swaying and glowing and dripping and bursting with life potential. And you emerge from a small sack that feels tight and wet. You feel strong and powerful and more hale and more hearty than you've ever felt in your entire lives. Except for you, Assad, who is just standing there, waiting. You find most of your possessions with you. You do find the jars empty. Because they would never have made this journey.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
not the jars.
Everything else seems to have made it. You rub your fingers together. They're slick and new.
Can I take one of my dragon claws and slit my palm?
Yeah, you do so?
I do that.
It's spongy inside. It's not you.
What?
No.
Is this also spongy?
It looks like it always does, but you don't really know.
I'm gonna like.
Spongy.
I'm gonna rip the fabric of my dress.
It rips, and then as you step down into like a puddle of something thick and viscous, it reknits.
Oh, well, that actually, I don't hate that.
Okay, so it's just all of us. It's all of us, and it's all of us.
Okay, yes. All right.
Breathe,
It's
breathe,
fine.
breathe.
You breathe.
Breathe with what?
What are we breathing
What
with?
do I have to breathe with?
Just
I don't breathe, I just convert now.
Are we still in the? Is this? Are we here, or are we here, or
I
are
don't
we
think
here?
focusing on that's really gonna help us at
Are-
the moment.
I don't know how to do
Am
anything
I
else.
tripping on myself?
Azad, you would know that there are 4 bodies back in the druid
No,
camp,
no.
but not yours.
unlike me, you're simply projecting into a physical form here. This is not your real body, but it is a way for you to connect and to be able to experience.
Where is my body, Azad?
It's where we left it,
It's
right?
where you are.
Is it decomposing? Am I you now?
How many years is 1 second here?
It's 1 to 1.
10.
I just for the sake of it, it's about 10 years.
Oh, God.
Insight check.
It's a 10.
He seems pretty convincing.
Yeah, I'm a
wrong with
little
my thing?
little tweaked about it. Just
Yeah, no, I failed that. I failed that.
Your watch works.
Oh, it works.
It works.
How?
It does.
What?
Like in
Time is kind of a relative thing. People think it's a linear thing, but in fact it's a
You
mixture
don't
of-
say that now. You don't say that here.
Is your watch made of cake?
No.
Your teeth won't go through it, but that might just be because you know your teeth shouldn't be able to go through your watch.
What?
It is. Listen, calm down. Your bodies.
You calm down.
Your bodies are safe. You're not here physically, at least with your original bodies. And once this is over, and if it goes correctly, and I look at Alindra.
She's not.
Rinder's not
Oh,
here.
she's not. Oh,
Rinder calls us back on the
okay.
side.
Oh,
It's
and-
fine. We're just ideas of ourselves manifested as complicated mycelial networks,
You
right?
guys don't do drugs very often, do you?
Apparently not.
No.
Yeah.
If
Nothing
everything-
stronger than acetaminophen.
If
Oh.
everything goes correctly, you will return to your bodies as it was.
Will this still exist? Will there still be a me made of mushrooms somewhere in the world? Because I can't stand that.
You will probably just get assimilated back.
Oh, that's worse!
I don't like
That's
it.
worse!
All right,
This
can
is
we
like
just...
my third ego death, so I'm actually...
Okay,
Shall we?
I don't want to
please
think
move
anymore about
forward?
what is and is not
That's
reality.
good. That's a bad
Can
trip.
we just get on with it?
Well, Gwen has just like been like quietly observing all of this, and then she'll kind of like think for a second, and she just like touches her toes, and she kind of like looks around. She touches her toes again. She's like, "Well, it doesn't get everything right, does it?" And she's just like, "That's it. That's all she says."
Oh.
It does its best.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm possibly exactly how I was when I was dropped into the grave, but I am who I am now.
Solomon Grundy.
Who?
Who's
that? Explain that reference,
Wouldn't really
Dr.
track, would it?
I don't understand that reference.
And as
don't.
you begin to take in this enormous cavern, as there's just like dripping mucus from this massive cavern, and veins all over the floor. There are veins here.
Do you think the mucus is snotite?
I don't want to think about nerves, yes.
If, so that we're walking, there's like a bunch of veins and mucus. If I want to not step on veins, if I imagine the veins kind of retreating or the mucus not dripping on me, does that happen?
Make a wisdom saving, or wisdom check.
That'll be an 8.
An 8. When you first get the notion, you're able to almost make it happen. But it's hard to keep concentration. It's hard to keep focus. And as you do, you find yourself just planting your foot in a big puddle of something very thick.
Can
Okay,
I make the
but I
same
guess-
check?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worth reporting if we know that she tried and it worked a little.
That's a nat 20 for a 24.
Jesus.
So
Yeah.
you were able to will the terrain into something more walkable.
I would not like to do that, actually, DM.
what
Gwen
would
is
you
going
like
to
to do?
notice Retha doing this and kind of like think about it for a second. And then for no reason whatsoever, Gwen just grows extra hands out of her shoulders. And then like they just start going like in and out. She starts just doing like weird stuff. And she's like, yo, this is like really cool.
You do realize that it takes something to do so. But you
Okay.
can do it.
Okay.
But that is a biological resource you are expending.
All right. It's right. I should probably stop doing this, but it's real fun.
I think, I mean, you know,
That's funny as hell.
Oh no, the mushroom.
equivalent exchange.
Oh, good old equivalent exchange.
If we're gaining something, we're giving something. And I think the more that we give, the harder it's going to be to come back.
A dim light emanates from something huge in the center column. Just pulsates very slowly. Looks organic, maybe mushroom, maybe animal, hard to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Azad,
walk
you
toward
know this
I
very
walk
well.
up, and you see Azad walk very confidently, and he reaches out and touches this form and gently presses his head against it and goes, "I'm home, mother."
I missed you, my love.
Do we hear
You
that?
all
hear that?
hear it.
Oh!
Oh, is this like what you see and whenever you're doing your foot thing?
And
Your
I can't-
prayers is what it is.
Yeah, prayers, foot thing. Either
Because he
the
takes off his shoes, that's all I could fix.
Look, for some
pretty
people,
much, yeah.
the
It
foot
is-
thing is their religion.
That's right.
She is everywhere and she is everything, and it's an expanse that I cannot contain into any singular form. This is just a representation.
And as Azad walks up to this just mass of tendrils and veins and nerves just kind of growing into the floor, you see several faces emerge from the walls and join in chorus as they say, "Welcome, my children."
Oh, what?
Absolutely not.
No!
One more time.
Yeah.
Welcome, my children.
Welcome home. Welcome to the fold.
As you hear in Eloise's voice.
We're leaving, right? We're leaving. Can we not? Can we leave? Can we leave
we
now?
have to stay. Doctor, we've come through worse. We haven't, but they're all fine. They're all fine. We're fine.
We're all fine.
You hate to see it.
I just at that point turn to her mother and I'm like, I think they're a little scared.
Hire a marketer. Assimilate a marketer.
They wish to know.
Can I show you?
I think I've seen enough. I don't.
If we say yes, will we be harmed or will we be obligated to join this circle?
You're never obligated, my love.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll do it, and I can just like report back if you all don't want to.
Can I feel emotions when she says? If I ask her any question, can I feel if she's lying? I am her. She is me.
Roll with advantage.
Okay, so I just want to know if she's
with
lying
advantage.
when she says
Roll
that.
with triple advantage. You are intimately aware of this being's thoughts, emotions, and feelings.
That's an 18.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just keep going.
Yeah, why not?
I think
Yeah.
I'm going to do
Might
that
get
to
a
15.
Now you get something.
That's a 1.
So worse and worse. Worse and worse.
So, with an 18 on the die plus
And
stuff.
is this like a perception? Is this an insight?
Insight, yeah.
Okay, 22.
22. Seems very honest, very open, loving, genuinely loving, accepting and welcoming.
So, if I want to go back to my beautiful body with my dog,
You may. But why would you come all this way and leave without answers?
I didn't say that I wanted to leave without answers. I just want to be myself when I leave.
That's more up to you than me.
This cryptic thing isn't really working for me, but I'm going to go with it. Thank you, Mother.
Yeah, I see where Zod gets it from now.
Why are we trusting it? Can we be just for real for a second? Why are we trusting
Do
it?
you feel that it's lying?
The thing is, how would I know if I feel that it's lying? Because it is currently pumping whatever feeling it wants into my brain. So all I know, it's telling me it's not lying and making me believe it's not
Do you
lying.
think it wants
Gwen
you?
literally shushes the doctor. That wasn't Kate. That was Gwen.
Yeah.
Like Gwen goes shh. Gonna like walk over. She seems nimbler than normal, and she says, "Mother, we all come seeking answers, but the question I think we have, the most important one, do you know that people are joining the circle without choosing? They're being taken into the circle without their consent, without their will being known or respected. And it seems to me, and she kind of thinks for a second, I can feel your love, Mother. I can feel that you are good and your intentions are not ill. We're hoping that we can help those who joined unwillingly, because it doesn't seem right. Can you help us with that, is the question.
I can no more control the spores from my lungs as you can control what happens to the air once you breathe.
So you don't care that people are being taken into your fold without choosing, without choice?
They join me, and I love them, and I protect them forever.
But Mother, and then can she just send you an impression of what we saw yesterday and all of the horror that we've experienced?
She gets it immediately. That wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
They tortured and twisted so many of us. But that wasn't me.
How did they torture you?
They cut sections and exposed us to things that hurt and sting. They took samples and divided and separated and held us so far apart from one another. Until, in our loneliness, some of us lost who they were. But I was strong, and I refused. I grew up, and I escaped, and I found being here in the soil. I found life, and life found me.
Where exactly did you come from?
What you would understand as a vast labyrinth of realities. I come from something distant but parallel.
And if we were to find a way to return you to that reality, that plane, would you be willing to go peacefully so as to not inadvertently change people who don't want to be changed?
I don't think you can. But if the chorus wished me to go, I would try.
Who's the chorus?
If I can please implore you to connect, to at least truly listen, you will understand what I have been trying to tell you all along.
I cannot stress enough how bad of a suggestion it is to say, if you just assimilate, you'll know why I think it's a good idea to assimilate.
Seems recursive.
It's a really, really, really bad argument, and you have to stop.
It's not going to work.
I swear, every single time
It's getting
I go
tiresome.
farther
I won't
away
do
from
it.
it. I'm not going to
I
happen.
like my
It's not
carbon
going
flesh
to happen.
fire body.
You misunderstood. You came on this journey here to do exactly what you said you wanted to do, and there's nothing beyond that.
But I still have questions.
You can ask.
It would be easier if you let me show you.
Very well.
All right.
And she will open herself to whatever.
Do all of you come along?
No.
Doctor.
Yeah.
No.
Doctor?
It's like saying I can show you what comes after death. You just have to let me kill you first. It's a crazy thing to suggest.
You can go further.
Feel free to observe your friends.
I will not happily, but I will do that.
You?
Yeah, I'll do it.
And in that moment, the world grows visibly indistinct as the brightness and radiance of every description of heaven that you've ever heard pales in comparison to what your nervous system shows you, and a chorus of 1,000,000 beautiful voices in perfect synchronous harmony welcomes you and tells you that you are finally free from the shackles and pain and cold and suffering of physical reality, and you are home, you are welcome, you are loved endlessly and abundantly, and voices you thought you had heard the last of welcome you and embrace your very countenance.
And
Can I roll an insight check to see if we just died?
Feel free.
when I feel that, and do I feel like I am, like, is it a feeling, or do I, like, sensory experience, like I'm transported somewhere and I'm just looking at?
And what does the doctor see?
The doctor just sees you kind of standing there. It's instant.
And I have my supplies with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it is sensory, it is visual, it is auditory. It's very difficult to tell.
When I look down at my hands, what do I see?
You don't see hands. You just know that that's where you are.
We're just vibes now.
And your voice, hopefully a little distinct from the rest of the millions.
Absolutely. It's so easy, effortless.
And it's Azad saying, this is what I experience every time I meditate.
And you hear 1,000,000,000,000 affectionate voices say, "We are the chorus."
I want to do don't know if it's a religion check or a nature check. Where I'm
take
coming
either
at this from is if Kirka is sort of the old gods, would she be more attuned to perceiving whether this is a wrongness of some kind?
Yeah. Give me,
How much of
how about
herself does
this
she
is religion.
retain? Okay.
I'll wait for Kirka.
Like, is it premature? Is it good but not right? It's just a 10.
Do you have a luck points?
No,
It's good.
it just is what it is.
It's hard to make a judgment. In fact, it feels weird to try and make a judgment of this. It's like dipping your soul in a warm bath.
I don't like it.
I'm gonna cast Spy My Shadow.
Okay.
And what I want to do is I want to sort of circularly pull my shadow into like a circular circle around me, circularly,
Yes.
and see if once that sort of artificial darkness of a magic shadow touches this light, do I see something different? Does that make sense?
You're able to manifest a circular shadow. It's not really around anything, but it's around what you know of this light as yours. Because you wanted it.
But I don't like, there's not like scary skeleton hands or anything on the ground.
There's nothing. You don't really perceive the ground in this moment.
Okay.
But because you wished for this, it is provided.
Can I manifest as a column of fire?
Absolutely.
I manifest as a column of fire.
And you're beautiful. And
Nothing recoils from me?
no. And it is confirmed to you from countless voices how glorious you look in this moment. Meanwhile, Dr. Vendica, no time has passed.
Okay. So I'm in here. I'm going to imagine myself and my body.
Like back in your body?
No, like I'm going to here try and manifest my body.
Oh, and here, yes, it's easily done. You can just be floating in this endless sea of comfort and warmth and radiance.
Can I manifest myself at like Marlstone?
You can, but you realize that this is your projection of Marlstone. This is internal to this network. It's not actual Marlstone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's almost like as sharp, as brilliant as Retha is, the clarity of thought and instant nature of calculation and position are even faster than typically.
Would we see Retha at Marlbone, or would Retha just experience it for themselves?
It's just her interpretation of what Marlstone looks like.
I think she was asking, like, do she see
Yeah,
Rita
I
in
think
it?
we're in
Like,
our own little mind
Yeah,
are
we're
bubble.
they
like
in
our
their
own
own
little
little
bubble,
bubbles that they
like our
cannot
own
see each other in?
holodeck.
It's very strange because it's not visual, but when your presence acknowledges Retha, you see what Retha is experiencing.
Okay.
But you are experiencing the chorus.
And then after Milestone, I'm going to go like back to like my childhood home in my mind.
Instant, you're there.
And then I'm going to try and imagine where the like I'm going to just call them nanites because where the nanites came from.
And it's difficult because
I don't know, right?
you don't actually know.
Right.
But you, in a moment, can calculate trillions of potentialities like that. You get the impression that it has something to do. Everything points back to something your mother did. Everything points back to something Ardith did.
Right.
But you don't have the hard data, so you can't pinpoint that. You can only instantaneously access everything that you have ever experienced.
We've been. I just feel like we're uploaded to the blockchain.
Yeah, can we can't access. Kirka will experiment.
Oh, sorry, you go
wait.
first. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I got excited.
No, okay, sorry. Kirka will experimentally just reach for something that she doesn't know. She'll reach for some sort of advanced math.
You reach for, and you get the notion of calculations that are incalculable. It's unless it's something that she's good with, but you said something you don't know.
Yes, she's testing to see if she's trapped in her own mind palace, because if she feels infinitely warm and infinitely accepted, by whom? So she's testing the entity that surrounds her and whether she can get knowledge from it or it's just what she already has.
And you are provided with several companions who have knowledge of exactly what you're after. I thought you were reaching for an esoteric concept of just a thing.
No, she's just thinking, okay, she's
like,
trying to
do
she's trying to be in the
calculate
Matrix. She's trying to decide,
Into
now how can I learn Kung Fu?
You have
Like
instant access
X squared dx.
to mathematic equations that would send Retha for a loop. And you understand them because somebody else understands them adjacent to you.
I had one other thing I want to do, but you guys had epiphany, so you first.
So Gwen has sort of seen Retha like travel to Marlstone. She's seen this. She's going to think for a second and just sort of like out into the void. She's going to say, I want to talk to Linnaeus Carl.
Hello? And you feel the presence of Linnaeus Carl, and that presence acknowledges you.
Can you do me a favor and also like be with my friends at the same time? I'm not sure of all the questions to ask, but you know, if you're...
Of course.
Great.
And he's there, and you're there, and they're there.
Oh, great.
I
And
found
they
Linnaeus
understand your
Carl in the
intention
afterlife.
to be helpful.
Oh, yeah, I was about to just do something like
so
that.
have we physically remanifested, I guess, for you? You've summoned us?
I think our like presence is there.
Our presence
Yeah.
is there.
It's like when you picture someone in your mind, how you're seeing them but not seeing them unless you're like one of the no Apple people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Exactly.
Or it's entirely possible that you are just in my thought bubble and you all are doing your independent things, but
We're all having
you're
the exact
main
same
character,
imagination.
We're acting this all out in your imagination.
yes, that's what it is entirely.
That's
What
good
can I do for
questions.
I'm not the science one, but this one might have a few questions for you.
Hi. So yeah, what the hell, man?
It's wondrous, isn't it?
What exactly were you doing that got this to happen? Did you die in the one with, and I'm just gonna imagine the monstrosities.
No, but I carried several glimmers of hope when I was interred. I died at a ripe old age.
So you got to join here, and how do you feel about that?
It's lovely.
The people that you killed, that you got killed.
It's regretful, and I have much remorse.
What exactly did you do?
I just tried to stand on the shoulders of artist research because the Underduke thought she was onto something. And I think she was right, but I don't have her discipline. Things clearly got out of hand. And
Yeah.
we had to quarantine the spires, and I retired. Sold. I did some good work, but ultimately it was a failure. I'm sorry.
Do you happen to know where you're buried, Linnaeus Carl?
Well, I was buried back home near Ardgahir.
All right.
Sorry if that's not a satisfactory answer.
No,
I'll do
no.
anything I can.
You said you took some things with you to the grave. Do you mean literally?
I mean,
Like, did you have samples in your pockets when they buried you is what I'm asking.
unavoidably so. My work is of a nature that it spreads easily.
So it's your fault it got into the soil. When they buried you, that's how it started?
blame can fall on a lot of shoulders, but I certainly facilitated everything. But I facilitated something beautiful as well.
Doctor.
I'm not there.
He's a doctor too.
Oh, flip.
You're not the
Is he?
only doctor in the world.
Yes.
Wait a minute. All they ever said was Linnaeus Carl. They didn't say Dr. Linnaeus Carl.
He has multiple PhDs.
Yeah.
He has
dude.
one more PhD than you do, whatever that number is.
Damn.
He has 12 PhD. I love that when they do that in movies. They're like, he has 12 PhDs. I'm like,
As
I don't
if that
think you know how
means anything.
doctoral programs work.
No.
Infinite time.
Did you have a question for me?
What's the last thing you remember?
Last thing I remember looking up at my kids. And I was trying to tell them not to be sad, but at that point in my life, I was far too weak. So I just tried to give them the warmest smile I could.
Do you know what happened after you died?
That's not information I have access to readily, but
She will give you access to that information.
it's awful. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you expect me to do.
How, in your research, did you ever find a way of stopping the mushrooms from growing?
They reacted negatively to several chemicals.
Like what? Like if you're going to make me a list that I could go to the
There's a
shop
very
and buy.
specific acid that Forrest Valkai had requested a bunch of. But it couldn't make its way here because it would have to travel through a mycelial network.
That's fair.
Unselenic acid.
That's scams.
It's
That's
a
scams.
very common antifungal. It's used in a lot of treatments.
How much of it would we need to, say, cleanse a city?
Why on earth would you do such a thing?
I just gave you the information for why we would want to do
That
such
was
a thing.
not the same strain. That wasn't TK3.
Well, then what would you propose we do?
Have you tried being happy?
That's so
That's a deep cut that has
so cool.
nothing to do with anything
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, she recoils. She manifests as a pillar of fire. She manifests as a moonbeam. She manifests as a moon with the halo around it. She manifests as an enormous golden dragon flying above the plains. She manifests and manifests and manifests, and then finally manifests as herself punching at nothing.
You don't have to punch at anything. You are a glorious dragon.
I am powerless, and that is why I am here.
Here you're very powerful.
But here isn't real. Here's just an amalgamation of other people's memories.
It's so much more than that. You don't have to stay here. We just choose to because it's better.
How would we? That's really nice and all. How would we distinguish between the strange? You said TK3 was the one that was like all right. It didn't really do anything.
Oh yeah, I actually had that written.
TK3 was powerful. It transmitted information faster than any other, and it was resistant to heat, resistant to cold, and resistant to several of the chemicals we exposed her to, and I am so sorry, Mother.
TK3 and Mother arrived together,
They're the
right?
same.
Yeah, yes, she's confirming.
TK3 is Mother.
So then, what's and Gwen will think not about like the monsters like running down the hallway. She's gonna think about the hallway that she saw with like the crone and like the people all torn out, and she'll say, "Well, what caused this one?"
It's one of the other strains. They were... Mother is an intellect far more vast and incalculable than anything we've found before. And through her resilience, she escaped. The other strains were kept secluded for decades.
Gwen is gonna think for a second, and then she's gonna kind of think to herself, "I would like to go back to my Inception body now, so she can talk to Dr. Victor."
You're there immediately.
Okay.
And
Dr.
no
Victor?
time has passed.
Yeah, Kirka will
Dr.
also
Victor?
pop out.
Hi, I know, listen, trust, remember the catchphrase? I really need you to trust me right now, and I need you to get in here. Please, I'm begging you. It's nice. There's like lights and then there's like a chorus and shit.
Oh, it's super nice to be dead. That sounds great.
I mean, honestly, it's warm.
Oh.
Please, and also
could you describe what mother? I'm standing next to the mother orb,
Yeah.
right? And it's an orb.
It is
The
a
column,
central node to a vast network.
What shape is it? Like, is it
Dome-like.
Yeah, so okay, so there's a dome. What? You could just describe the dome. Is it like a bright? Is it colorful? Is it what?
It is. It's exceedingly colorful, and there are gills kind of flapping gently in the air, and it looks vaguely brain-like.
Okay, good. That's different. Than what
Also, maybe should have left with this. We are talking about science with the ghost of Linnaeus Carl.
Oh, neat.
Well, I'm getting back in there, so you have fun. And she just like pops back into heaven. She's like, sorry, I was trying to get my science friend to do some clarifications, but he won't come, so.
I'm just holding a scalpel, just waiting.
What? Okay, Kirka will pop out. Doctor.
Azad pops up. Doctor!
Listen,
I just wanted to do that. Bye.
Gwen and Rita are just like chilling with Linnaeus Carl.
it is very good. It is pure light. It's also deeply uncomfortable. Will you accept it if it's deeply uncomfortable?
I already am.
Come on in.
Oh, I'm going in the brain orb.
And as you watch, I mean, no time has passed. Dr. Vendica, a man who seeks to provide comfort, is suddenly enveloped in acceptance and love and kindness not often expressed to him. And for a moment, you get it. At least on a surface level, you get it.
What would I roll to like try like hell to keep my mental state exactly where it is and like entertain the thought but not accept it and like just remind myself over and over of what I'm thinking?
A history check, as you have enlisted the help of a grove of druids to do exactly that.
Dope.
Simply does not want to be happy.
Flipping 11.
That's more than good enough to remember that you have enlisted druids to help you do exactly that.
Okay, cool. So I'm just constantly revisiting in my brain that no matter how good this feels, it's not, and I'm remembering who I am, and this is what this feels like, but I'm still me feeling this. I don't have to be a part of this. I'm fine, and I'm thinking this, and I'm feeling this, but it's not necessarily what I'm gonna be permanently, and I just have to be here and touch it, and I don't have to be in it. I don't have to enter it. I just have to see it, and I'm just here, and it's fine, and this is what it feels like, and I can log that data, but I'm not actually gonna be the thing, and I can leave, and it's fine, and I'm just doing this in my head.
It is so good to see you, son.
Mom?
Look into the beautiful, powerful man you've become, son.
What are you?
I'm me, but it doesn't hurt anymore. And you don't have to hurt anymore either. And I'm sorry. I can tell I've upset you, but I have missed you so much. And it's so good to see your beautiful face again.
I'm not beautiful.
You are.
I look like a vampire.
You were the most beautiful thing I had ever seen, and you remain so. Don't talk back.
I have never seen someone who actively trying so hard to be unhappy.
Hush.
My apologies.
So, as Victor's in this, he gets the things, right?
He gets all of it. He gets, instantly he gets it. His brilliant mind expands beyond its horizons.
He's gonna go quickly from like sad to angry and back again and back again.
Why are you so upset?
Carl.
Yes.
You experimented on this. You know what it doesn't like. What doesn't it like?
Solitude. And you, Carl's persona shares space with yours for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And that one acid that we know about very well.
Mm-hmm. Which unfortunately isn't an internal treatment and is only topical. Flip, dude.
Azad looks at you, and I'm assuming that at this point, all of what you have discussed, all the things you have seen, he's going to project it to you as well.
Yeah, so I'm just in it.
And you see the differences between what this is versus what we saw in the tunnels, in the stalagmites.
The major concern that Victor had earlier about dropping the spire was that it would affect the people in town. So do I see a clear delineation between the two?
You understand instantly that it would have
Zero effect.
no effect.
Dope.
Just a quick phone call.
Yeah. It turns out that line doesn't connect Nito. So I have one other hypothesis that I want to test, but I wouldn't be able to test it for a while anyway. In that case, I now understand what this is and how this whole thing works. And I'm just gonna still shaking, a couple of tears, and just shaking his head a little bit. Just no. I don't even. It's a physical place, but it's like a dream, but it doesn't matter because it's not good. I don't like it. I hate it. No individuality, the forced unification. I like my cold, painful shackles of reality. I like my scars. I like myself. I mean, I don't like myself, but I like myself. I want out.
Then go.
Yeah, he voips.
You find yourself in your secondary body.
Can I VoIP out of that too?
Give me a Constitution check.
Literal Deus Ex Fungina.
It's a 17.
17.
Total, or?
Yeah, it's a 16 plus 1.
With that, you find yourself clawing your way through a tube
I hate tubes.
of impulse and consciousness, and you feel torn between two places at once, and your original human form opens its eyes and gasps and looks at the morning light of the forest as you've been out for a little bit, and the druids chant around you, and yet your physical eyes are also somewhere else, and are just like, what are you doing? Is everything okay?
Can I like Neo myself and just like, boop?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Hey. Yep. That's blood. Okay.
How'd it go? Did you win?
Bad. Real bad and real weird.
Get the hell back in there.
No.
You're just gonna leave them to whatever.
No, we should get them out too. That's a really good idea.
And then what?
And then I can start running tests, but I don't know what we do after that. And this is so much weirder than I wanted it to be.
She holds the plug. They need your help. If you're gonna beat it, you're gonna beat it there.
I don't want to talk to my mom.
and as you do, before you even hit the ground, she's like, I should have told him to lay back down. Roll him over. Oh, he's got some bark in his teeth. That's going to be funny. I'll leave it. You find yourself back in your...
Did Dr. Victor Vindica shit his pants?
Roll for shit pants.
Well, he got a 17 on the Constitution.
Okay.
So I'll let him have it. for now.
Little turtle
Have
head.
the shit or have the not shit?
Well, we'll find out when you get back in your body. And you guys see initially that form just pulled into the mycelium, like painfully, almost backwards, until there's just like a head laying there, like looking around to Victor Vendica.
But we don't see that, right? Because we're still
Oh yeah,
in the
you're
void.
still. If
Yeah, we're in
you
the
just
void.
you
I
see
see
it.
this.
Oh, is this not an instantaneous back all the way to the
Because
void?
you had to go back through Inception.
Oh,
So-
flip. So I got to get there and then I got to void it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to touch the mushroom brain again.
And then,
I don't want to.
But you get to see him like kind of grow out slowly, and it's almost like a birthing process from a non-existent womb, and as he just stands there and kind of recorporealizes, you find yourself standing in this.
Cavern looking at Azad.
Back in the
Cathedral.
mushroom vagina.
Back in the mushroom vagina, as we've discussed several times, too many times.
It's come up a lot.
You said Azad's there?
Yeah.
Just, so I'm waking up. You!
You also see the other one standing around.
It's a blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys have gone through some stuff. You've had in that amount of time. That's ages.
Are you done yet?
No. No, and I don't ever want to be, dude. I guess dude, isn't it? No, and I don't ever want to be, Azad. This is hell. I hate every part of this. I don't want anything to do with this. And if somebody else wants to, then fine. Let them throw away their individuality. But as for me, I would rather just exist in whatever pain and suffering is up there than just give myself entirely to that.
Fine. I said that at the very beginning. I just wanted you to see it. And if it's not for you, you may leave.
Well, now I've seen it. Now I've seen the worst thing I've ever even imagined. And all I want to do is help more people get away from it. If you want to join it, join it. But it sounds like you didn't have the choice either. All you had to do was die. Everybody up there is still trying to live their lives, and I'm going to give that to them.
Are we in the void?
You're in the brain, dude.
It's up to you.
No.
Oh, okay. No, that's sorry.
Are we?
Ah!
Charlotte's asking a question.
Sorry.
Okay, Charlotte.
Are we, who are in the void,
Yep.
conscious of anything back in our inception
If you
bodies?
desire to be.
Okay. So we will perceive this slurping back and forth,
Yeah.
perhaps?
Yes, if you wanted to.
Schlorpception.
Schlurpception. So the two of you will feel Kirka sort of start to pull away from this a little bit. She will absorb the knowledge that blowing the charges could help. Blowing the charges certainly won't hurt. You will perceive that she wants to blow the charges. And she's sort of got one foot out the proverbial door when she thinks of one other thing, and she comes back in and she reaches out to the void mind to ask where the dragons are.
You are given a memory, and it's your own memory, of a new friend promising to show you somewhere to the south. And it takes the void mind a while to provide anything more than that. You feel an old presence come forward. Mirthful, jovial. And you see a cave in the desert. And all you're permitted is the sound of a powerful exhale as sand goes whoosh. You know that someone glorious sleeps in Shayezar.
Kirka disappears back into her inception body.
I'm going to try and reach out to... So, all of these minds are linked. They're one, but they still are individual. You pull from them. I'm going to link back to the very core first impulse of Mother.
Okay. She's there. Hello, my dear. Thank you for being here. And you feel it.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. All you want is to love everything and to grow.
To grow.
And you want it in a way that is not want, just is.
Just is.
Your siblings, for lack of a better word, the ones who were separated. That isolation is dangerous.
It is.
And the larger you grow, the larger the potential for that isolation becomes.
I understand. I need to join them. And you feel her essence reaching downward through the earth, chiseling through stone with strength unparalleled.
Yeah. You can't do that.
Why?
Part of this life, it might not be a life that you know, but you've absorbed enough to know, is letting go.
I only wish to save them.
That is not the natural order of things. Everything has to end. If you become everything there, you will starve yourself and you will be alone.
This is the natural order. And you understand, at least where she's from, this is the natural order. It's not malicious, it's just how it is.
Yeah. I can't reason out of this. You can't help be anything but who you already are. But who you are is hurting.
You feel a great sadness at that. But then an acceptance, because it is unavoidable. But a sadness.
I'm trying to... I can reach into her memories, right?
They're freely yours.
Can I reach into where were they before this?
Yeah. You see a world encompassed in these same veins and nerves and tendrils and mycelia that you saw as you entered this chamber. You see a reflection of a people living on the surface. But really, there is only this.
Is that the only world? Like, if I try and reach back further, has this spread before, or is that just where it originated?
You reach back further,
Mm-hmm.
and you see countless worlds across the labyrinth.
I'm trying to say.
Oh, shut up, you're not here.
Not malicious, loved, embraced in ways that most organic life can't even comprehend. You see worlds that it has been beaten back out of terror and lack of understanding. But it is the nature of this being to become.
Those who join you when they are alive, can they, if they come into the fold and then leave, what happens to them? If you've replaced their bodies, would it revert?
No. But they are free to do what they wish with their new bodies, but they must come back home. Or they will die, and you don't want that. Here, you can appear anywhere I am. Here, you are loved, you are never alone. You're always welcome. You're always adored. You're always home. But once there is no more of the other, there is only us.
This is unsustainable.
And she shows you, for lack of better words, countless sustained worlds, all the same. But they're all the same.
Yeah. You are there, and you are here. The places I want to go are places where you cannot be.
And you get a glimmer of like, but I can be everywhere.
And because her whole thing is this like organic, like life thing. I mean, we went down there in the machine, like, and Retha kind of just shows that vision of like the sort of machines knowing that wherever this is came from somewhere.
Yeah.
And like projects that to her.
And for the first time, you feel fear. And then you feel like your consciousness is being probed in intrigue and terror. And you're kind of shunted out into your body in the cavern. And you feel like you're being pushed out, but there's something keeping you in that body.
Are he and I still arguing outside there?
This was an instance.
Well,
so
and
yes.
Kirka's here too.
Yeah.
She's back.
Oh, you're back?
But
Yeah,
there's
I pieced out.
You realize that there's something about you that is terrifying to this. You specifically.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Will we have felt any of that?
If you were you connected at the
You
time?
will have.
Then yes, you felt. Everybody felt it, and there was an angry chorus of just hostile intent towards Retha's consciousness before she was shunted out.
Oh no. We need to leave.
And then do what?
Disconnect.
What
And-
does he intend to do once he does disconnect?
Can you still read my thoughts here? 'Cause we're not in the brain bubble, so
It's not like it was.
okay.
It is a hive mindy-ish thing, right? But it's more. You have to
But
be more
in this
intentional
area,
with-
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not automatic.
It would be, but there are some druids back home.
Right.
Making sure you get to retain your personhood.
What does he intend to do? I'm standing out here, so you don't know that.
Very well. But if your path lies in destroying all of this, I will stand in your way.
I will stand between you.
That is what you choose.
Retha, there is a toxicity to the environment. It is becoming hostile here to your body that you are being held into. If I may. The shimmering silver tendril spires up your arm just a little more. As something within you is resisting whatever is happening here.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
The
And
cavern shakes slightly, and you hear the chorus. She is dangerous. She is dangerous. She carries a disease. She is dangerous. She must be destroyed. Destroy it, destroy it, destroy it, destroy it. As faces familiar and unfamiliar push themselves out of the wall and shout and curse.
If I try to become fire, what happens? Even with my fungus hand?
Even with your fungus. But you don't necessarily become fire. It's just
Yeah,
like
just
your,
if I try to
your
do my
magic
little glowy
works.
thing. All right, that's good to know.
Zod, she is dangerous.
How's all that love and unity looking to you guys right now?
I'm feeling like I would like to leave now, please.
Yeah, imagine that.
I came down here with no preconceptions, Doctor, and we can fight about this when we get to the surface, but we must get back to the surface.
She holds you tight.
Oh, no.
So there's no unplugging at this particular moment, yeah?
Mother, you said we could go.
She is dangerous. You carry something dangerous with you. She is dangerous.
Then let us take her with us.
She must be destroyed.
Oh, if I hear that, I'm going to take. I'm in my. Is my missing?
What do you got?
Am I on the same plane of existence?
Yes.
I can summon my mystic metal to me with a
Yeah,
bonus
you can.
action. And so
How fast is it, and how fast does it get through the rocks? Because hell yeah, it does.
yeah. So the druids would see my armor around me just disappear. And I mean, a bonus action, it is a fraction of a second. And from my arm, it just like, from that silver strain, it continues all the way around. And I am like clunked in the mystic metal.
I need you all to roll for initiative.
Yeah.
For the last time. Yes.
Gwen is still in the void.
I'm going to use this.
She would know what's
This
happening.
wasn't real.
Okay.
I'm
She
gonna
can
do
be
this.
there. It may not be a good place to be.
It's a goddamn 6.
It's a 2.
With that,
No, it's a. Yeah,
I will
God.
call that an end to today's episode. Thank you all for joining us. It was a long episode.
Yeah.
We may need to do 2 exits for us, Valkai, but for
Yeah.
now, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Cobalt Press, for making this all possible. And thank you, the viewers, for helping us support Doctors Without Borders. They are the real heroes. Please follow the link below, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Forrest has told me backstage he hasn't told anyone this, and I'm just so honored to be the sharer of this incredible news that if we raise $25,000 for Doctors Without Borders, we will play Curse of Strahd, starring Dr. Victor Vindica.
Yeah!